Hello, my name's Karen Welsh. I'm an abstract artist. Today I painted some flowers in the abstracted style. Continue watching my video to see how I achieved it. Right, here I have a white canvas and I'm just going to put on some colours on the background just to give it a bit of movement before we start, because this technique of painting is just layering and layering. You're making decisions all the time and changing the way you do things all the time, making decisions, making a change. So I've chosen this really lovely jade colour, and with a little bit of cobalt blue in it and white, because it's just a really fresh colour. So this is a much smaller canvas than I would normally work on, so I'm just doing it for the purposes of this video. Okay, so we've got a bit of that, a bit more white, like that. Just keeping those the brush moving with thick bits of paint, thinner bits of paint, scrubbing over the canvas. There we are. So we have a sort of a start. So on top of that, we're painting a bouquet of flowers, or we're flowers of some form. There's not going to be any detail. We are going to just give the impression of flowers, and as I do with my landscapes, just have an essence of what it is that we're painting, and hopefully at the end of it have a recognisable image of flowers. Right, now I'm going to put in a bit of green for the foliage. Just roughly marking in. Right, now these are starting to be the colours of the flowers. So we've got the foliage, we've got the flowers. But as I say, this is just the first coat, so it's all a little bit washy. Now I'm going to put in some of the dark, so a bit of dark in there, just to give me a feel of the balance of colour. Now I'm I'm mixing some black with some orangey red that I'd already mixed up. You see, I make these pots of colour, which help me speed me along a bit rather than trying to mix it up on the palette. Now this is going to give the impression of a bouquet of flowers. So these are the stalks. Okay. And I'm taking, brushing over the edges of the mark I've just made so that it's softer. Okay. I'll put a bit more dark in there to give the impression of the depth of the flowers. Now I'm going to add a little bit of drippiness to it to give it use a palette knife to put some lines in. See, that has a little bit more interest to it. I'm going to go over with a little bit of a darker, stronger marks. So that's starting to bring the flowers forward. Using like little squiggly marks to try and catch the delicateness of the flowers. And always use a bigger brush than you think you need. That's the art of keeping your paintings loose. Sort of moving in between the leaves. I'd like to put in some more white in here, over the top of the blue bit. So we're sort of blending the two together. You're getting rid of all the hard lines and making the whole painting move. Oh well, don't worry, that's one of those happy accidents. Something happens and you just can use it. See, it's changed it, and that's actually looks really interesting. That's what's so exciting about painting this way. You never know what's going to happen, and you just have to go with it. The only colours I've used here are a green that I've mixed up, the black mixed with the orange, that's it so far, and white. So far, that's all I've used, so it's kept it really, really clean. So now I'm going to put in some stronger, thicker green on top of here. So you've got the nice washy green underneath to give it an all-round shape. Looking all the time at the balance on the canvas. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to use a pencil. I'm going to make some marks in the background. So now I'm going to put in some darker green. See how it's giving it depth? Now I've mixed a little bit of good quality white with the green, and I'm going to go over the top here, flicking backwards and forwards, again to keep that movement. Now I'm going to put a little bit of a pink, using the orange that I mixed, adding some white. Bit of spray bottle, just to loosen the edges up a bit. I think it could do with a little bit of dark now. Now I'm going to do some scratching. Actually, a little bit of light in the middle. A bit more of this red. every stroke is important. So I've been layering the colours as I felt it needed it to give it depth and to bring things forward. That's what the white does. The white helps to bring things forward and the dark takes things back. But you've got to be ever so careful that you don't overdo it. I'm going to try a bit of charcoal now. Keep standing back and having a good look at it from a distance to just check on the balance and check where you think you might need some more marks. So here we go, I'm going to try a bit of charcoal. Well, there we are. I think that it's all finished. Thank you very much for watching. See you again soon.